This video will explore Louis-Hippolyte La Fontaine, a Canadian hero who forced power to answer to the people. This is brought to you by the Truth in Action Share Club. Louis-Hippolyte La Fontaine is one of Canada's great constitutional defenders. In 1848, he secured a defining principle of a free society. Those who govern must answer to the people. Before the Reform movement, government in British North America differed from today. Real power rested with the governor, appointed councils, and colonial elites. Elected assemblies existed, but they did not control the government. Officials could ignore the people's will and rule through executive authority. La Fontaine and the Reform movement challenged this, demanding that government authority could not exist above the people. This crucial demand was named responsible government. It established that the executive branch must maintain the confidence of the elected legislature. La Fontaine joined forces with fellow Reform leader Robert Baldwin. Their shared message was clear: if a government loses the confidence of the elected assembly, it cannot govern. The turning point came in 1848. After years of struggle, the executive government was finally forced to accept the authority of the elected legislature. Executive power could no longer rule independently. It had to answer to the people's representatives. The principle La Fontaine defended has deep roots, reaching back to the Magna Carta in 1215 and centuries of common law. The core rule remains: no one is above the law. This rule applies universally, not to kings, governors, ministers, powerful officials, or elected leaders. The rule of law applies to all. To enforce the rule of law, the common law placed ordinary citizens within the justice system. One of the most powerful institutions created for this purpose was the grand jury. For centuries, grand juries served as independent citizen investigative bodies. They existed because governments cannot always be trusted to investigate themselves. Grand juries held significant powers, investigating suspected crimes, hearing testimony under oath, examining evidence, compelling witnesses and documents through subpoena, and issuing presentments and indictments to initiate criminal charges. These powers of citizen enforcement did not originate from political authority. Instead, they came from the people themselves. La Fontaine's victory established responsible government, placing the government under elected authority. However, the common law tradition also recognized that citizens themselves must remain a safeguard of justice. These two safeguards complement each other. Responsible government ensures political accountability, while the grand jury ensured legal accountability. History shows that political systems can drift toward the concentration of power. When institutions fail to investigate wrongdoing, the constitutional tradition returns to its foundation, the people themselves. This brings us to the lesson of La Fontaine. Free societies do not survive simply because institutions exist. They survive because citizens understand their constitutional role. Reflecting on this, power must never be allowed to place itself beyond accountability. Responsible government was one safeguard, and the grand jury was another. A free nation survives only when citizens remember that government authority comes from them and can never stand above them. Thank you for watching this video from the Truth in Action Share Club.